Welcome to the Run Your Day podcast, where our goal is to expand your focus and perspective on life. This is your daily dose of motivation, mindfulness, and so much more. And now, here to help you take your day back, your host, Dan Hafner.
Hello, everyone. Welcome into another episode of the Run Your Day podcast. This is Dan Hafner here, live and in person with you here the day after Christmas. It is December 26th. I skipped out on the show yesterday just to spend time with family and everything. So just wanted to say if you were expecting a show yesterday, I'm sorry about that, but we're going to get after it today and for the rest of the week. So today's topic is this: start rising. As always, thank you all for joining. Sit back, relax, and enjoy today's show. So what I'm going to start with today, I'm actually going to just start with the daily quote of the day, and we're just going to go through and break it down. Be a little bit of a shorter episode today. But today's quote is this: there are two types of people who will tell you that you cannot make a difference in this world. Those who are afraid to try, and those who are afraid you will succeed. Ray Goforth. I think that's kind of funny that his last name is Goforth, like literally the go forth and conquer, right? So let me read that again for you. There are two types of people who will tell you that you cannot make a difference in this world. Those who are afraid to try, and those who are afraid you will succeed. It's an interesting dynamic, right? I mean, there's on one hand, so really what I'm getting at with this one is the New Year resolutions coming up, right? It's about to be 2019. Everyone this time of year gets very gung-ho and motivated to change and to be different, or to be better, or to do a fitness routine, or do whatever it might be. And that's great. I'll get more into resolutions and such in like the new year. But as far as it is right now, when it comes to planning what you want to do, like, it can be daunting sometimes. I mean, I have goals and targets that I've set for myself for 2019 that scare the absolute crap out of me. Like, they do. I'm terrified because not even I think that I can achieve them. Right? And I think that's what scares other people. When the people always say, set realistic targets, set measurable things that you can actually achieve, right? And I'm obviously saying you should set measurable things, but if something that you're going for doesn't scare you at least a little bit, it's not a big enough goal. And that's why the first type of people, those who are afraid to try, will see what you're trying to do and tell you that it's impossible, because they were like, why would you do that? You'll never succeed, because in their mind, they couldn't do it, right? And they just are stuck in this little box of their small life and their small priorities and their small commitments. And they don't see the inner desire and the burning desire that you have to actually grow and be better. So those are the first type of people that you'll deal with, are the people that just are afraid to try. And these are the negative people that will surround you, that will try to influence you and tell you that what you're trying to do is impossible and you won't be able to do it. And then the second kind of people is an even more interesting dynamic. Those who are afraid you will succeed. Someone that says, sees you trying to do something and knows that you're capable of doing it, but also knows on the other hand that if you succeed in that endeavor that you're trying to accomplish, you might not be able to handle it. Like, you're not in a place to be able to handle the stress or the extra commitments that come with that. And that's a powerful thing also, right? Because those people will also be negative influences. Those people will also be trying to keep you from rising. They'll constantly, that's that conscience constantly in your ear, like, hey, you're not going to make it. Are you sure you want this? Are you sure you want this? Are you sure you want this? And that's an even harder voice to ignore sometimes, because it almost comes through as a voice of encouragement, but is in the end a voice of discouragement. And it's really, really tough. And that's just like, there are always going to be people out there that just want you to not succeed. Like it's weird to think about. And it took me a while to realize this also. And I've literally seen people in what I do that, literally don't want me to succeed. Like, that's the internet, right? Like it's people's job sometimes to just be haters, to just be trolls. That's just the world we live in, right? But the beauty of it is that you don't have to give influence to anyone else over what you think and what you want to do. You simply choose that, consciously or subconsciously. And it's true. So the more you start rising, the better you start becoming in 2019 through your resolutions or whatever your goals and targets are. You have to expect some of this negative feedback once you start to make a difference and you start to actually get to a place where you're succeeding and crushing it. That's just the way it is. And it's tough. And you might not even realize what I'm talking about until you get there. Until you actually get to that point where you start succeeding and you start having a little bit of flack and a little bit of complainers and you should do this, because they're trying to pull you back down. You make them uncomfortable. You make people around you uncomfortable when you're willing to live a different way, to do different things, and to be a different person, to become a different person. You just make other people uncomfortable because they're not able to do that themselves. And it's tough. It's tough. But my challenge for you today is think about this. Where can you expect in 2019 these conditions to come from? Who in your world, who in your life can you expect to get negative feedback from? And how can you prepare yourself for that if and when that situation does come? Because it's better to be prepared. It's better to expect it rather than to have it blindside you and cold cock you in the side of the cheek in 2019 when it comes along, and all of a sudden you ruined a friendship because you weren't expecting something. I mean, I've prepared myself for this, for what it's going to happen to me in 2019. Like there's going to be people that come into my life that are going to be super encouraging, and there's going to be people that are in my life right now that are probably going to no longer be in my life because of the amount of discouragement that they give. And it's just part of rising. It's part of becoming a different person, part of just growing. It really is. So that's going to wrap up the show for you today. Think about this. Think about what's coming up for you in 2019, how you might possibly face resistance, and how you can overcome that from other people. So that's going to wrap up today's show. As always, thank you all for joining. Really, really appreciate you guys. Be sure to check out the Facebook page. And we're coming up on episode 100 here shortly. Today's episode 96. So be on the lookout for episode 100. Got something special planned in there for you guys. It's going to be awesome. And as always, make it a great rest of your day. Thank you for joining. Dan Hafner here on the Run Your Day podcast. Make it a great rest of your day.
Thank you for listening to the Run Your Day podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's show. If you did, feel free to share today's show with friends and family. Until next time, have a great day.